7. They've lost 5 straight. The Knicks are 6-3. New York coming off a win Friday night. They defeated Oklahoma City by a score of 116-106. They've already won 3 games against Western Conference teams. Last year, they won 3 games against the West in the entire season. They went 3-27 against the West last year. They've already picked up 3 wins against the West this season. The Knicks are on the board to get it started. Now Josh Howard from Gerald Green scores the layup. So you've got Crawford and Howard scoring the first baskets for their respective teams. 50 seconds into it.
Good cut by Howard to get himself open underneath.
On the drive, a score for Zach Randolph.
The upper body strength and the shoulder strength of Randolph is just unbelievable. He is really strong in his upper body, and he uses that down low.
Randolph averaging 20 points and over 12 rebounds a game. Dirk answers back. Dallas coming off a 102-100 loss to the Orlando Magic. A real tough one on Friday night. Their 5th straight loss. We'll see what coming out on the road does for Dallas' psyche. This is the opener of a 3-game trip. They play in Charlotte on Tuesday, Houston on Wednesday. That shot was blocked as Richardson had it rejected by Howard. And the Mavericks on the move. Gerald Green starting his 4th game of the season today. 2nd straight game with the 2-guard spot as Dirk Nowitzki gets into the paint and scores 1. He had a 36-point game last year here in Madison Square Garden.
And Chandler's going to have a tough time guarding Nowitzki.
3-ball Jamal Crawford. Get ready to see a lot of that. He's a 48% 3-point shooter, and he's taking about 8 3-pointers per game.
Think about that. 48% on threes.
The Knicks as a team, 39% on threes. They rank 7th in 3-point shooting percentage. From the baseline, Eric Dampier, and there's Gerald Green dunking it home on the putback, but he was in the cylinder. Offensive interference.
Golly. I'm not talking about Gerald Green. I'm wondering if he would. I guess he is. It looked like he was in the cylinder. You've got to take it outside the cylinder, then you can take it back in. But you can't go get it when it's in the cylinder. And the cylinder is defined by the top of the rim all the way to the top of the facility in which you are playing. How about the left-hander hitting a jump shot?
How about Zach Randolph connecting? And he will step out and take threes. That was a long 2, but he's taken 18 3-pointers this season. Everyone gets into the act as a 3-point shooter when you play for Mike D'Antoni. Eric Dampier has all sorts of room. Look how New York backed off him, and he misses the jumper. Almost 3 minutes gone by in the game, and it is a missed layup for Wilson Chandler. There is a call here. Leon Wood has stopped play. Is this going to be a travel, or is it a loose ball foul on Dallas? It is a travel.
It has to be. You can't put it up like that and go get it unless it hits the board, unless it hits the rim, unless somebody else touches it. If it leaves your hands and it touches nothing, you can't go get it.
Dallas is 2-3 so far in road games this year. They won their first 2, but have lost their last 3. Dirk over Chandler, and on the money. Great start for Dirk. Made his first 3 attempts. Mavs pulled it within 1. Duhon on the drive, and it's Dirk getting in the way of it more than anything. It's a turnover committed by New York, their 2nd. And once again, Dirk hoisting the jumper.
That might have been the best look he's had. He had a good look there.
First miss for Dirk. Crawford with some fancy dribbling on the outside, and we talked just a second ago. Randolph will take threes. He's not a great 3-point shooter. He's now 6 of 19 on the year as he hits out.
And he is talking some trash, let me tell you. Randolph is really talking to Dampier.
New York a 4-point lead. Howard in the lane, and he doesn't get the bounce, but goes to the free throw line. Had 14 free throw attempts, made 10 of them as part of his 25.9 rebound effort against the Orlando Magic on Friday night. And Howard is going to the free throw line for the first time in the game. This is the first player for either squad to shoot a free throw. We probably won't see many free throws today, Bob, unless there's some sort of anomaly, because the Knicks come in tied for 26th in the league in free throw attempts per game. And the Mavericks are 25th in the league in free throw attempts. Both teams shooting an average of just under 23 per contest. And Rick Carlisle is going to have to go small here. James Singleton is coming into the game.
Well, that's to guard Randolph. That's what that's all about, because Singleton can go out on the floor and guard Randolph a little bit. Now, if you're Randolph, you might want to take Singleton back down low where you're bigger and stronger.
Singleton appearing in his 6th game of the year. He's played a total of 13 minutes. Wilson Chandler on the money. He's averaging 14 points, nearly 6 rebounds a game.
He's a lot more comfortable than he was last year, I can tell you that. The entire Knicks team is. There's no question about that.
The entire New York basketball community, I think, is more comfortable with the changes that have gone on. 5-point New York advantage as we played nearly 5 minutes. Dirk on the back down. Ball is loose. Singleton on the floor. Shot clock. Kidd got it away in time. And it's Randolph with a rebound. Don't overlook the fact Randolph is 3rd in the league in rebounding at over 12 a game, as Quentin Richardson knocks it down. Mavericks want to talk things over. No question that the Knicks style puts pressure on your defense, and the Mavericks want to discuss some things defensively as New York's made 7 of their first 8 attempts, and the Knicks lead 16 points. So all of the points so far for Dallas have come from Dirk and Josh Howard. 6 for Dirk, 5 from Howard. Duhon on the drive. Knocked out by Dallas.
That's the 3rd time that Duhon has penetrated into the lane all 3 times looking to pass the ball. They're probably going to have to look to finish every once in a while just to keep the defense honest.
He doesn't score a lot, averages just 8 points a game and only shoots 38%. And that jumper falls. Wow, Jamal Crawford, tough shot from the baseline. Crawford is 16th in the NBA in scoring at a clip of 22 points per game. Wilson Chandler with the rebound. James Singleton missed on a 3. Singleton has not made a bucket this year. In the 5 games he's played, all 6 points he's scored have been at the free throw line. There's Zach Randolph with the basket. Randolph with 9. He has made all 4 attempts. Howard. So it's Howard and Dirk still having done all the scoring for the Mavs. Quentin Richardson. 7 seconds off the shot clock. 3 ball bang.
That's right.
Wow.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's what they're going to do. That's what they want to do.
Well, I believe that was the title of the book that Jack McCallum wrote when he was with the D'Antoni Phoenix Suns a few years ago. 7 seconds or less, and there were 7 seconds off the clock when that 3 ball went up. Now it's Dallas with a chance at a 3-point play as Singleton got inside. Now he scores his first basket of the year, and he's also fouled. And we'll go to the free throw line.
We talked about the energy guys, Lee and Robinson, and they are in the game right now. Gerald Green sits down. Nate Robinson and David Lee, and I mean, this crowd really identifies with those guys. They constantly are battling. They're relentless in pursuit of rebounds. Robinson's listed at 5'9". I don't believe that he's 5'9", but he averages 4 rebounds a game.
And is 4th in the league at steals at nearly 2.5 a game. Chris Duhon and Wilson Chandler went out. You had Jason Terry subbing into the game for Gerald Green. There's Lee stepping out to the fringe of his range. He's much more of a paint player, but misses that outside jumper. Terry in the lane. Kidd got it. Dirk doesn't get the roll. Lee with the rebound. Kidd nearly came back to get the steal. He's one of 3 players averaging more steals per game than Nate Robinson, as Kidd is 2nd in the league at 2.7 steals per contest. New York with an 8-point lead. Maverick ball after Jamal Crawford missed. Kidd on the drive, got past David Lee, doesn't get the bounce. There's Singleton, and it's Randolph taking away the rebound.
You see that upper body strength pay off for him there, taking the ball away from Singleton?
Crawford, nope. Defensive rebound, Josh Howard. And now Howard putting up a 3-pointer that rattles out.
That's one thing you have to be careful of, what you just saw, because New York they will lead you into playing the game the way they play. Look at that.
Randolph with a three.
I think he hasn't increased his range, but they'll do that, and we've talked enough about it. But what happens sometimes is that they, subconsciously, all of a sudden you're doing it instead of doing what Dirk just did, and that's trying to get to the basket and get to the free throw line.
And you can score that basket. He'll get to the free throw line for an and one situation with Dallas down by 9. Fouls on David Lee.
Good move here. They're trying to take and pressure that shot. And now you've got a second defender sometimes coming at Dirk. And the game didn't start that way. He hit 3 baskets, and that took care of that. Chandler was playing him one-on-one defensively, and all of a sudden they adjusted and started to send the second defender after Dirk.
That'll happen when somebody makes their first 3 shots of the game, won't it?
Well, in this game.
Crawford misses.
Finally. That's 2 in a row he's missed.
Randolph leads New York. He's already scored 12 points. Crawford has 7. And here's Singleton posting up Richardson. James Singleton missed, and David Lee there for the rebound. New York's defense allows over 103 points a game, and again they are last in the league in field goal defense with opponents shooting 49%. But you can do that when you shoot 70%, which is what the Knicks are doing to start the game. Almost 71%. Nowitzki hits. I think back on our first year working together on the TV side after moving over from Radio Bob, I learned one of the funniest terms you've ever said, and that's what I'm thinking of watching this game. As Robinson, there's energy, and gives it to David Lee for the score and the foul.
That's what Robinson does. That's a really very, very good touch pass. And that was, finish your thought there?
Oh, yes, Bunker Hill basketball. And that's what we're seeing a lot of here in the first quarter. Fire and fall back.
That is. Bunker Hill basketball is fire and fall back.
A great offensive rebound. Great job hustling. We talked about it in the Lincoln Mercury key matchup. That's the type of bench energy that Robinson and Lee bring to the table that the Mavericks will have to find some sort of formula to neutralize.
And can Barea match it? Because Barea's in the game right now, and he'll be guarding Robinson. Robinson, number 4, guarding Barea.
We've got Singleton in the game. He came in 5 minutes ago, and he is also known for his time in the league as with his reputation as an energy guy, defender, and rebounder. Jason Terry. Ball knocked out of bounds. 9 on the shot clock. 2:47 remaining in the first quarter, and there's a timeout on the floor. It's been all New York early on. A steady diet of Zach Randolph. He's got a 6 of 6 for 14 points in the game working. Dallas led by 11 from Dirk. The deficit for Dallas, though, is 11 with this timeout. 2:47 remaining in the first quarter. New York leads Dallas by a score of 31-20. The Knicks are putting points on the board in bunches, and that's exactly what you expect them to do. Because as we look at the Mercedes-Benz league leaders, the biggest points per game improvement from last season, you've got New York scoring 8 points per game more. That's obviously because of the change of coaching to Mike D'Antoni's system. Miami, Cleveland, Atlanta, Minnesota, they round out the list. Miami's increase is probably due to just having a healthy roster as much as anything. But New York scoring 8 points a game for the obvious reasons. And Magic Johnson's got to like the style of basketball he's seeing and being the point guard of the Showtime Lakers.
Now, why is he in New York?
It's always a good place to be as Barea drives and gets into the lane and misses, and Dirk misses on the follow.
He's a part owner of the LA Lakers. What's he doing in New York?
2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. You've got Chris Duhon back in the game. Wilson Chandler has come back. Randolph again. Bob, he is a perfect 7 of 7.
He looks so comfortable. He looks so confident. The entire Knick team does. I mean, it looks nothing like what this mess has looked like in the last 4 years.
Boy, mess is exactly right. Jason Terry, Dirk, offensive rebounds. Remember, as we noted at the top of the broadcast, that this Knick team does not rebound the ball well. They are getting out-rebounded by an average of 7 per game this year, but the Mavericks are unable to capitalize on that second chance opportunity. As Wilson Chandler misses on a 3. Lee saves it in, but Dirk is there. Barea on the run. Off the glass, no. Singleton, offensive rebound, and lays it in. There's a second chance bucket.
Look at this attack. Look how quickly that took place.
Knocked away from Nate Robinson. Jason Terry on the drive with the score.
Sometimes the best thing you can do against a team that really wants to run and shoot is to run right back at them. Now, I didn't say you had to run and shoot, but run right back at them, because you may get by people. Their defensive transition is not as good as their offensive transition. So you run, you may get some easy shots like the Mavericks just did.
David Lee gets that to go. And the one thing that we saw from watching the Mavericks and Suns in regular season and playoff series over these last few years when Mike D'Antoni was there, yes, you can give up a lot of points against Phoenix. The Suns under D'Antoni and the Knicks under D'Antoni will obviously score a lot, but a trademark of those Phoenix teams, Bob, is they will let you back in the game quickly as well. They'll give up points in bunches just like they scored in bunches, and so that's the one thing you hope for when you have a double-digit deficit in the first quarter like Dallas is facing.
And that's already happened to this Knicks team. They had a 30-point lead recently and lost the lead. Lead went down to 7. They ended up winning the game.
Yeah, that was Friday night here against Oklahoma City.
But you're right. I mean, that will happen.
Just under a minute left in the first quarter.
We've talked about, David Lee and his hustle and work inside. Now, I want you to watch this move here, folks. David Lee with the ball. Watch him. Shoots with the right hand. He's left-handed. He is left-handed, but he's ambidextrous. He's ambidextrous because in high school he broke his left arm, and he learned to play with his right. And now he's very effective with both of them.
Zach Randolph on the turnaround. Nate Robinson, the offensive rebound, but misses the chippy, and Singleton has it. And David Lee went to high school in St. Louis before going to Florida. And there's Josh Howard running the floor and dunking it home.
And a very good job by Berea. Head up, looking down the floor, made the pass.
Kick out pass, corner three. Nope. Granted pass, by the way, has come in for Dallas a moment ago. Nate Robinson missed for New York. Berea, Howard, Bass, Terry, Singleton on the floor. You got a 2-second differential, shot clock, game clock. New York does not have a foul to get here. Berea running clock. He'll drive, he finds Bass. David Lee, the defensive rebound, deflection. Dallas gets it back to beat the buzzer. Brandon Bass, no good. New York shoots 60% in the first quarter. They knock down 4 threes, and they get 16 points from Zach Randolph. After 1 quarter of play, the Mavericks starting a 3-game road trip. They come to New York, and so Wilson Chandler goes for the basket and scores for New York, so it's a 37-26 New York advantage. Marty Collins came in for the Knicks late in the first quarter. He's on the floor here at the start of the second. You've also got David Lee. Chandler's out there. Bass with a follow dunk.
Robinson at 5'9", actually playing the 2-guard position right now. He just went back door. Duhan with the basketball is the point guard.
Shot from Duhan.
He doesn't do that very often. He's not a real good 3-point shooter.
Just 31% this year on threes. Foul called on Nate Robinson. Robinson, that's his first.
Took a little shot when he went by with his elbow. Got caught.
Berea, Terry, Bass, Singleton, Howard. That's the lineup. There's Berea using the screen from Singleton. Gives it up to Bass. Baseline jumper missed by James Singleton, and you've got a loose ball foul called here on Dallas. It's on Singleton. Now, beg your pardon, the foul's on Brandon Bass. That's his first, and it's the team's first.
In his anxiety to get to the basketball, I think he did push. I don't think he even realizes it because he looked at the official, but Mavericks need more help out of that guy, out of Bass. Maybe that happens tonight.
Bass is scoring down over 2 points a game this year. Averaged over 8 last year, under 6 this season. Underneath, Marty Collins, and he gets it to go.
See, Lee's a pretty good passer now. He'll pass, once again, being ambidextrous, he'll pass the ball with his left hand, and he'll pass it with his right.
Marty Collins in his 3rd year out of Temple, averaging 2 points a game. Just scored that hoop for the Knicks, who lead by 11. Shot clock at 6. It's Berea. Lee, the defensive rebound. And you've got a real defensive mismatch here for Dallas, but Wilson Chandler unable to capitalize, using the glass on that turnaround jumper over Barea. Howard in the paint. Follows his own miss, but poked it out of bounds. New York ball. Dallas has yet to win a game against the Eastern Conference this year. 3 games against the East: Cleveland, Chicago, and Orlando. They've lost them all. David Lee, a 20-footer.
See, that's you saw the natural left-hander now. Anytime he gets out a little bit farther on the floor, then he does shoot it with his left hand.
Lee's in his 4th year in the NBA as Brandon Bass misses inside. And the rebound is grabbed by Chris Duhon. The Mavs are shooting 37% for the game.
Look out, their shot's going up, I can promise you.
Wide open, Nate Robinson. Singleton with the rebound. Robinson has not shot the ball well. He is a streaky shooter. He's 0 for 3 in this game, but he's had a couple of games this year where he's gone 5 of 5 from 3-point range. As a matter of fact, earlier in the week on the road in Memphis, he had an 8 of 8 shooting performance and scored 21 points in what was a 30-point New York win.
Well, what you didn't want to happen is going to happen here very, very quickly, and that's Randolph's going to be back in the game. And the way he played prior to the time he went out, he was just dynamite.
Josh Howard on the line, fouled by Wilson Chandler. Coming up on tonight's Dodge Grab Life by the Horns, Jason Kidd talks about teammate Dirk Nowitzki. Josh Howard's second free throw attempt here. Bob Wilson Chandler going out of the game with 3 fouls as Randolph comes back in.
A lot of people talking to Kidd here tonight. Keep in mind those many, many years in New Jersey. He's got a lot of friends there at the Guard. Sometimes I wonder if that's a distraction because, you know, you acknowledge their presence. You visit with them a little bit.
Collins lost the ball, but there's a foul called here on Dallas, and that's on Josh Howard. And of course, the other tie that Jason Kidd has to New York is Mike D'Antoni on the bench as the head coach of the Knicks was an assistant on the Olympic team in Beijing this past summer. Of course, when Jason Kidd won a gold medal and raised his record in international play for Team USA to a perfect 56-0. Lee coughed it up momentarily. Now Duhon to the hoop.
See, he's really better at that. Duhon can do that. He can finish. He can drive, penetrate, and finish, and so can that guy.
Jason Terry on the pull-up. 4 points off the bench for Terry, who had 20 against Orlando the other night, as David Lee gets the big dunk.
Yeah, but what a pass from Robinson.
Robinson averages 4 assists a game. He's got 4 tonight, and Rick Carlisle and his staff want to talk things over. Timeout taken by Dallas. Go. And by Mercedes. Mavericks have some fans here at Madison Square Garden watching as New York leads it by 11. Dirk and Jason Kidd are back in the game. Antoine Wright seeing his first action of the night. He didn't play against Orlando on Friday night. Wright making his 7th appearance of the year. Dirk over David Lee, hits the hoop.
See, when he gets that one-on-one coverage, that was one-on-one. Nobody came to help out against Dirk. I believe that their second defender may be coming to Dirk on the dribble. As soon as he puts it down, that's when the second defender comes.
Nate Robinson. That's the first basket that he's made. Again, keep in mind what I said a moment ago. Streak shooter, missed his first 3, but he had an 8 for 8 game recently. So watch out for that guy to potentially get hot.
Single coverage again. Let's see now. See, not that time when they went double coverage. Duhon came over.
And they didn't wait for Dirk to put it on the floor. He passed out of the double team. There's a good pass by Antoine Wright. And Bass is fouled trying to hammer one home. .7:38 left in the second. A trip to the free throw line. Zach Randolph committing the foul. His first. New York's 3rd team foul. And a pair of free throws for Brandon Bass. Just 7 of 8 at the line this year. He shot 82% last season in his first year with Dallas. See the numbers that Bass posted in a March game against the Knicks last year. Dallas won both games against New York last season by 10 on the road in December. And the Mavericks won by 29 in a home game against New York last March at American Airlines Center. The Knicks will be in Dallas this year for a game on January 8th. Randolph with the rebound as Brandon Bass on the free throw line splits. Dallas trails by 11. Chris Duhon over Jason Kidd. That's a long two. He was just on the arc.
If he's going to hit a few of those, it becomes even tougher to defend this team, because Duhon primarily a ball handler and a guy that runs the show and sets things up.
Pass outside. Kidd able to snare it. Antoine Wright missed a three out of the corner. And Nate Robinson there for the rebound. David Lee going to the bucket. That's his game. Inside, we've seen him take a couple of jumpers, but he scores that one right at the cup to give him 9 points.
And defensively, though, on that pick and roll situation, you've got to handle that a lot better. Look at Robinson looking for the steal.
And almost got it.
Yes, he did.
Kidd over Duhon, and he splashes through a three-pointer. Jason Kidd coming into the game, 38.5% on three-pointers.
Hate to be repetitious, but what Dallas is going to have to do, they absolutely going to have to get some stops.
Well, Rick Carlisle talked about it before the game, that Mike D'Antoni's system certainly challenges your defense because they take quick shots. We got a travel call here, up and down.
Yeah, he came back.
Crawford.
He came back down, changed his mind on the shot, tried to make a pass out of it, but he had already hit the floor.
It was one of those stops you were talking about, Bob. And it turns into a hoop at the other end. The Mavericks score off the turnover.
See, if they can isolate Dirk enough so the second defender can't get there, he's been able to score, and he's doing a great job of that. But if you don't spread the floor and you get too close to Dirk, then the second defender can get to him and force the ball out of his hands.
Fading Zach Randolph, and after making his first 7 shots, he's hauled off and missed 2 in a row now. Kidd beating Bass down on the block. Bass over Randolph. So a turnover turns into a bucket for Dirk, and then a defensive stop turns into a bucket for Bass, and the Mavericks have closed the gap to 8. Again, D'Antoni's teams will let you back in the game.
Yes, they will. They will do that.
Down low, Lee operates against Wright. Forces one up. But there's Randolph with the offensive rebound. The shot never touched the iron. Lee is fouled. Shot clock was about to run out.
Big
foul called on Dallas.
Big conversation out there between Bass and Randolph.
Foul on Antoine Wright. Wright picks up his first free throws for Lee after a break of the action with 5:04 to go in the second.
Ford Truck Month.
Did too. You mentioned this going to the timeout. A spirited conversation with Zach Randolph before the timeout whenever that foul was called on Antoine Wright that's put David Lee on the free throw line here.
Do you think spirited is the right word?
It's certainly one of many that could be used in that situation.
They look pretty heated to me.
There's the line for Randolph. Again, he made his first 7 shots, has missed his last 2. And there's Dirk getting the rebound as David Lee split the free throws. Lee this year just 67% at the line. He was an 82% free throw shooter last year. Keep in mind, he nearly averaged a double-double last year at 11 points and 9 rebounds a game. Jason Terry, baseline jumper. Defensive rebound for Randolph. Randolph has 7 straight double-doubles coming into the game this evening. 1 more rebound will make it 8 straight double-doubles for Randolph. His 8th year in the NBA from Michigan State, 27 years old.
He's got a double-double already?
1 rebound away. 16 points, 9 boards. He's fouled and here with 4:29 to go in the second.
That time Randolph showed a little bit something different. He put the ball on the floor. You've got to close out on him. And that, you know, his presence at that 5 position, that's really going to limit the play tonight of Dampier and Jop, because they're not comfortable going that far out on the floor to defend against Randolph. Now, you know, he made 7 in a row, and you take him out, and he sits down, and then you put him back in, and he misses 2 field goals, and he misses a free throw. I think when a guy's hit 7 in a row, and I normally take him out at a particular time, I'm not going to take him out. No, if he asks to get a rest, that's different. Or if he misses 1 or 2, then I might take him out. As long as he's hot, I'm going to stay with the hot hand.
He goes 1 of 2 at the line. Dirk on the turnaround. Off one leg, the old Karl Malone move again. That shot that Dirk has worked on for so many years. Hits that bucket. 8-point game. 4 minutes left in the first half. Crawford. A little bit of a collision there with Antoine Wright. And now the Mavericks are on the floor. Here's Wright looking to go to Bass, and they've called an offensive foul here on Dallas.
You know what? I think Randolph he's trying to distract Brandon Bass a little bit, affect his concentration. They're coming down the floor, and I watch. See, look at Bass get inside. See, he kind of leaned into him, got a little bit of a shot in there. The only thing is, if you're going to get a little bit of a shot, you might as well get a good one. I mean, if you're going to get
money's worth.
Yeah, if you're going to get a foul, you know, don't get fined or fired for stealing stamps. If you're going to do something, do it big.
Josh Howard will go in the game because Brandon Bass has 3 fouls. We've also got Singleton having subbed in. Antoine Wright went out.
And once again, Singleton back against Randolph because obviously Carlisle's just uncomfortable with Dampier or Jopp in this game as it relates to matchups.
And there's Nate Robinson hitting the leaner. New York's lead is 10. Dirk getting into the paint, draws a foul with 3:24 to go in the half. Dirk is 8 of 12 from the floor. He scored 17 points in the first half and has 7 rebounds as well. Dirk coming off a 24-point effort against Orlando on Friday night. Went 10 of 18 from the floor in that game. And here he is on the line where he's hit at a clip of nearly 90% this year.
Good shooters, soft touch, good touch. Nowitzki gets the roll. It's all part of his game. Good hands and a good touch.
Career 87% free throw shooter, connecting on both. The 768th game of Dirk's career tonight.
Got 19 points in the ballgame.
Nate Robinson on the triple drive, intercept Josh Howard. Here's a chance for Dallas to close to within 6. Kid fakes the pass. Singleton follows it up with a dunk.
Heck of a play by Singleton. It was a real easy 2-on-1, and he just didn't take for granted that the Mavericks were going to get the basket. He hustled back.
I wonder how many buckets get scored like that. They're what looks like it's going to be an easy opportunity, and then you don't give up on the play, you trail, and you get an opportunity like Singleton just did as Randolph battles inside to get the points back for New York after Dallas to close to within 6. Josh Howard defended by David Lee. A step back jumper by Howard. Dead ball, and there's a timeout on the floor. New York will have it when we return. Mavericks at Madison Square Garden. We've got 2:28 left in the second quarter. New York's led almost all of the first half, at one point by as many as 15 points. They're currently in front.
Works. You know, he just doesn't wake up and make jump shots. You know, he works extremely hard at that, and he wants the ball, and that's, you know, that makes the game easy for me.
That's tonight's Dodge Grab Life by the Horns feature, brought to you by Dodge. And the game has been very easy for Dirk tonight. 8 of 12 from the floor, 19 points.
Little jump hook right there, gets deep into the lane. Beats David Lee off the dribble and finishes. It's been impressive, I'll tell you that. Single coverage is not enough against him. Now, a guy with good size, you know, 6'10", 6'11", 6'9", in that area with long arms and good quickness, that defender gives Dirk, you know, a little bit of trouble. But that defender doesn't exist for the Knicks.
Here's Nate Robinson driving and missing, battling inside Zach Randolph. By the way, he has his double-double now, 19 points and 11 rebounds, and he's fouled and will go to the free throw line.
With 2:17 left in the first half.
8th straight double-double for Randolph. Now, when he's had some more time in the league, Bob, Wilson Chandler, by the way, might be the kind of guy who could give Dirk a little bit of trouble.
That's possible.
Yeah,
and that's
like
why Chandler started on it.
Let's look at the Southwest standings out of the Atlantic Division. New York is at 6-3. Boston 9-2, leading the division. But what a turnaround it's been for the Knicks this year. Second place in the Atlantic Division. Dirk with the defensive rebounds. We were just talking about Chandler a moment ago, and by the way, we should note he has 3 fouls in the game. He's on the bench right now. His kid throws it away looking for Dirk. Jamal Crawford then lost it. Tapped by Kidd to Singleton, and Dirk is all alone to slam it home.
You see Robinson try to hustle low to get back.
When that play started, he was all alone, but Robinson almost caught him. Defensive rebound, Dirk, he got fouled.
Tactical foul. Robinson, I believe.
1:43 left in the half.
So Dirk's going to shoot 3 free throws.
The Knicks went over the limit with that foul. They're 5th of the second quarter. It's the second foul of the game on Robinson, and then there was also a technical foul. That's where the foul was, obviously.
And see, when you turn and look at the official like that, and that out official, the trail official in that particular case said that he saw it, called the tee. Dirk's having a monster first half. He's getting lost in the score of the game right now. Although the Mavericks making a little bit of a push, it's a great time to do that. You get 1:43 left in the first half.
It's a 6-point game, and 2 more free throws can pull Dallas to within 4 as Dirk made the free throw for the technical. Now the first of 2 is that loose ball foul on Nate Robinson. Put the Knicks over the limit. And you noted Dirk's monster first half. Well, we talked about Zach Randolph's first half double-double. How about Dirk at 24 points, and he's at 9 rebounds as well. He has only had 1 double-double this year after he had 25 last season. He's on the lip of the cup to get his second as Duhon hits a 3. Dallas got it down to a 4-point game, but then there's Duhon hitting New York's 6th three-pointer of the game. Kidd, Terry, Howard, Singleton, and Dirk, the lineup for the Mavs. Howard going to work off a screen. Here's Singleton, shovels to Dirk, and a foul.
That's a nice pass by Singleton.
Yes, absolutely.
Good job moving the ball around. On numerous occasions here in the first half, a lot of what the Mavericks have been getting it coming off the dribble. Not here. You see a pass to Singleton and a pass from Singleton to Nowitzki. When you move the ball with the pass, you're much more effective than constantly pounding it, putting it down on the floor.
That's 3 fouls now on Nate Robinson. He's on the bench. Marty Collins is in. In his 3rd year out of Temple, a native of Philadelphia, 24 years old. And again, Dirk's numbers sensational here in the first half. Keep in mind, he had a 36-point game here in New York last season in a game that Dallas won 99-89 in mid-December.
Now he's guarding Randolph. Dirk is.
Dirk does not have a personal foul in this game, and it is a shot that's missed by Randolph over Nowitzki. Singleton the rebound. The Mavericks can make this a 1-possession game. It's Howard. Oh, it's almost stolen. Collins got it, but Howard got it back to lay it in.
That's a little bit of that athleticism and that quickness by Josh Howard, recovering that ball, scoring.
Slowly but surely,
carry the
Bob.
ball. No, I thought he carried the ball.
There's a foul called here on Dallas, and slowly but surely, Bob, the Mavericks have trudged their way up the mountain, and they have gotten to within 3. Although Crawford's going to get free throws here, it did look like he carried the ball, Bob.
Sure. Whoa, look at that. My goodness. Now, if the foul preceded that, then that's a different deal.
Mavs are over the limit. Josh Howard with his 2nd foul of the game. The only player for Dallas right now in foul trouble is Bass, who's on the bench. He's got 3. Crawford connects on the foul shots. 74% this year at the line for the Seattle native. At 29 against Oklahoma City in the win on Friday night.
Dirk wants the ball. ball. He wants the ball against Lee.
And will get it on the left side of the floor with the shot clock down to 6. Now makes his move to the basket. Gets inside, doesn't get it to go. And now the Knicks can hold for the last shot. Jamal Crawford, 7 seconds. Mike D'Antoni waves David Lee over to set the screen. Crawford against Howard and foul. And now Howard's got 3 fouls with 2.5 seconds before halftime, and the Knicks have a chance to up the lead back to 7. Crawford with a pair of free throws.
We want to make that guy make that shot. You don't want to help him out by committing that foul and bail him out because the pressure was there. Josh was close enough to have some pretty good pressure. And make Crawford make that shot. Don't let him shoot a couple of free throws.
Coming up at halftime on the Toyota Truck game break, Emily and Rowe will break down the first half.
20-second timeout, Mark.
With 2.5 to go in the first half. Crawford has made 1 of 2. And New York is back in front by 6. New York, as we mentioned earlier, doesn't get to the free throw line a lot, about 23 times a game. They're not a great free throw shooting team, 74.5%. That ranks 22nd in the league, and they are at 70% for this game. Meanwhile, Dallas has gotten to the free throw line 17 times compared to New York, only 7 out of 10.
Now, if you're the Mavericks, I'm looking for some kind of a long pass in here. You know, if they hit the free throw, you step out of bounds. You got time for a long pass, and then the receiver of that pass hits somebody streaking up the side, and you may get a quick shot. But you've got to have somebody take the ball out of bounds. You've got to have a long pass, and then the guy that catches that pass drops it to somebody coming toward the basket, coming toward that receiver, and he puts up a shot in hopes that you get one late. See what happens.
Crawford gets the bounce.
There you go.
That fumble gives New York some time to set up. It goes into Green. They find Dirk, and his shot is good. They'll review it.
One official called it good. One in front of us. That's exactly what you do. Now, if Green hadn't taken a dribble in there, which he can't do, but he did get it over to Dirk quickly. And that's the only way you can attack that with that kind of time left. Is you've got to have a long pass in there.
All right, let's see if we can ascertain. Did he get it off in time? I don't think he did. I saw a red light on. Let's see. We'll be for sure able to tell here. Nope.
No, he did not.
What a huge hit that would have been for the Mavericks at the end of the first half. It would have got them within 4, but it looks like that won't count. So 64-57 will be the Knicks lead over the Mavericks at halftime.
Go Mavs.
280 straight sellouts and counting, and going for number 281 on Friday night. After this 3-game road trip concludes for Dallas, they'll be back home to take on the Memphis Grizzlies. So come on out Friday night to check out not only the Mavericks, but an exciting young team in the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the first time that we will see in person O.J. Mayo, the leading rookie scorer in the NBA.
They are an improved team, Mark, and they are an exciting team. Are they going to be in the playoffs? I don't know. It'll be difficult for them to get there. Probably not.
And coached, by the way, Bob, by a former assistant of that gentleman, Mike D'Antoni, and Mark Ivaroni.
That's correct, and that's kind of what Ivaroni wants to do. He wants to run a lot like Memphis did when he was an assistant, or like Phoenix did when he was an assistant there.
Let's look at the Marines scoring leaders from the first half of this game, and it's the aforementioned Dirk Nowitzki and Zach Randolph. Dirk with 26 points, 9 of 14 for the floor. Zach Randolph had a double-double with 20 points and 11 rebounds in the first half. He made his first 7 shots, ending up 8 out of 12. He's also knocked down a couple of threes. Your Marines leaders of the game. Dan Pierce started at center, but James Singleton is starting here to begin the third quarter. Also, Jason Terry is starting to begin the third quarter after Gerald Green got the assignment at the start of the game. And Dirk trying to pick up where he left off at the end of the first half. Doesn't get the bounce there. Wilson Chandler gets chased, so does Singleton. It's the Knicks coming away with it for a moment. Then Duhon has it taken away by Terry. Singleton, he scores.
Little dribble penetration by Kidd made that happen, and then a nice little bounce pass. That's what you should use in close quarters, is a little bounce pass. Kidd did it. Singleton finished.
Let me remind you that James Singleton had played only 5 games in a total of 13 minutes coming into today. He has 8 points, 6 rebounds in 16 minutes. Howard, that pass goes off his knees, but he's going to control it after the New York turnover. Mavs have it. Try to make this a one-possession game. Kidd pinned underneath the basket, sends it out. Jason Terry, yes sir, he hits from out the outside, and it's a 2-point contest.
I like the start, the second half for Dallas.
Randolph works on Singleton. 3-point heave, Chris Duhon, offensive rebound. Zach Randolph pulling his way up and fouled.
So strong inside. I mentioned it in the first half. His shoulder strength and his upper body strength is really something, and he uses that body around the basket very, very well. And the other thing is he's left-handed, and you know, it's just an advantage for him, because a lot of times players just forget that he is. They shouldn't, but you know, you're defending a normal, you know, right-hander, but not this guy. This guy's a little different.
And you just saw one of the trade-offs too, Bob, whereas, you know, the negative with having Dampier in the game is, you know, Zach Randolph can take him outside, and Dampier doesn't. On Fox Sports Southwestern, brought to you by Southwest Airlines, by your Texas Ford dealers, by the Progressive Insurance Group, and by Lombardo Custom Apparel. On the road in New York, where the Mavericks and the New York Knicks meeting for the first of 2 times this year.
You know a little bit about Lombardo, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. It's at Trinity Mills and the Toll Road in North Dallas. Got by there this week.
Great clothes, great people.
84-80 is the lead. There's Stephon Marbury, and they are apparently talking about getting his situation resolved, with buyout discussions now finally having been opened between Donnie Walsh and Marbury. Marbury doesn't even have an agent. He's got someone from the Players Association acting on his behalf, and the discussions, and that's been a contentious situation, to say the least. They're finally trying to come to some sort of resolution that would allow Marbury to go elsewhere and the Knicks to get rid of that distraction, as Chandler hits for New York after Terry completed the 3-point play out of the timeout.
Chandler really gets the ball up well. He gets a lot of air underneath it. That means he gets a lot of arch. He's an improved player, a much improved player.
As a rookie last year, he averaged 7 points in 35 games, but this year averaging 14 points a game. There's Jason Terry announcing his presence with authority again. He's got 14 points here in the third quarter, 18 for the game.
And which is why Dirk Nowitzki doesn't, you know, have points in this half. He's only got 2 points in this half, but that's because Jason Terry has had more shots. And that means that Nowitzki's had fewer touches.
I thought that was going to be an offensive foul on New York, that Barea had gotten a call. But the call is on J.J. Barea. His first.
I think everybody thought that was a charge. I'm not sure about that call, folks.
But as you have noted many times, that is obviously, I think most would agree, the toughest call in the game, the block charge. At least it doesn't put New York into a free throw shooting situation, as this shot from the corner is no good. And Bass is there for the defensive rebound. Chandler missed. Chandler, by the way, has quietly made his way up to 14 points with a nice third quarter. Now it's Dirk, double teamed. Barea, this is the 3 that would tie the game, and he hits it.
It's a long way back for the Dallas Mavericks.
They were once down 15 in the second quarter, and Barea just evened the score, and then the ball is out of bounds off.
Nowitzki double team, trying to force it out of his hands, and when that happens, and you know that they're going to do that. He had 26 first half points, Nowitzki did. They forced it out of his hands, and Barea made him pay. And that's what you have to do. That's good basketball. And notice how Barea moved over toward Nowitzki when that happened. So he shortens the length of the pass so that the defender can't cover the pass on airtime. The longer the pass, the more airtime you have for the defender to get there.
3-pointer, Jamal Crawford on the offside. Terry loses his balance, and Chris Duhon will get it back, and now Nate Robinson hits a three. That hurts. You get a stop, but the Knicks dig out an offensive rebound, and they regain the lead on Robinson's three-pointer.
You know, Robinson had so that he can turn the corner.
There's no foul to give here for New York.
Yeah, here comes the pick. Pick by Singleton. Can he turn the corner?
Barea into the lane. Puts it high up, and it is Bass who will flush it down. Score the basket with a foul, and 2.3 to go in the third.
No, I guess there wasn't a foul.
And now Joe
about having, you know, at least two of them present at all times, preferably three. But Carlisle's got to get him some rest sometime.
By the way, as a point of clarification, that was a 2-point goal for Richardson.
Not a three?
Yeah, so it's a 4-point lead. And then you've got a foul call here as Singleton came soaring in to get a rebound. And he got belted by Randolph for the fourth foul of the game on Zach Randolph. Once again, there's Singleton making his presence felt with his 9th rebound of the game to go with 12 points. Now Barea off the pick, and he hits another three-pointer. J.J. Barea, a season-best 7, and it's a 93-92 New York lead. On the drive quickly, the other end. Duhon attacks.
They get it back so quickly sometimes. You watch a game, sometimes you'll notice that some teams don't have to work as hard to get baskets as the other team. That wears you down, especially in the fourth period.
Antoine Wright, nope. Singleton, offensive rebound.
Big rebound.
He has a double-double. Now Singleton bluffed the shot. Down to 10 minutes to play. Singleton, he can hit a three-pointer. Howard going after it, and it's out of bounds off Josh Howard. 9:55 to go, New York ball. Singleton didn't take a lot of threes when he was with the Clippers in 2005 to 2007, but in the few threes that he did take, he hit it a clip of 38%. We've got a call here on Dallas for a foul. 9:52 remaining. It's on Antoine Wright. His second. First team foul on Dallas. 95-92, New York in front. Randolph gets a screen from David Lee. Outside jumper. Airballs it. Maverick ball. Nothing has been the same for Randolph since the 7-of-7 start. He's now 2 for 10 since.
I don't think when a guy is 7 for 7, I don't think you take him out of a game.
That being said, by the way, Bob, he still does have 25 points and 17 rebounds today.
Oh, he's had a huge game. Nobody's trying to deny that. I mean, the guy's a heck of a player, and he's a pretty versatile guy.
Howard sets the screen, and now he'll get an open look off the feed from Barea. There you go, bullseye.
Barea, nice job. Nice job at the point.
A season best 4 assists today to go this season high in scoring of 7. Duhon with a 3. Wow, they've got unexpected offense today from Chris Duhon. Duhon has only scored in double digits 3 times in 10 games this year. That includes the dozen that he has today. Now it's Howard, and he hits again. Same spot on the floor, basically. Mavs trail by 2. We're seeing some positive signs on offense in the fourth quarter. Now can Dallas get the stops they need as Duhon runs the pick and roll with Randolph. A pass to Richardson. Bullseye. Wow. Now the Knicks are hitting shots. Richardson with a dozen. All 5 starters for New York are in double digits now. And they also have 12 from David Lee off the bench. The Mavericks have tied it on a couple of occasions here in the second half. But they haven't been able to get all the way over the hump. Barea gets the screen from Singleton. Buries the 3. Dallas on the road, down by 5. Orlando Magic.
And you got Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Kidd back in the game right now, along with Josh Howard.
And you've got the Mavericks with the ball, trailing by 5. As we close in on 8 minutes left in the game. Kidd, no. Offensive rebound. Antoine Wright. Then knocked out of Kidd's hands.
Robinson was the guy that freed up the ball that time. He got a piece of it. The Knicks get it back.
Dallas led today by 28 points and 11 rebounds to Dirk. Duhon driving and scoring.
That's really a good speed cut. It's kind of like a jet cut. Those are two different, those are terms that different coaches use, but that jet cut means that you're just making that cut and you're really making it hard.
That's an offensive foul. Call is on Brandon Bass. That's his fourth. By the way, Chris Duhon has his first double-double of the season for New York. 14 points, 10 assists. Randolph over Bass. Dallas tied it earlier in the fourth, but now New York's opened up a 9-point lead.
Seeing a bit of a trend once again here, and that's Dallas's ability to battle back from deficits and tie the game and then not have enough to get over the hump.
Howard, three-pointer is good. A much-needed basket, Bob.
Oh, big time.
Josh Howard's knocked down 3 shots here in the fourth quarter, including that 3. 105-99, Robinson, long 2. Dirk, the rebound, is 12th of the day. Dirk came in averaging 7 boards. Kidd goes to work against Duhon. Finding Antoine Wright. Corner 3. Nope, but Dallas is there for an offensive rebound. Josh Howard sends it back to Antoine Wright, who will drive. Misses the finish. Kept alive by Dallas. Howard has it. He scores with Wright crumpled to the deck underneath him. Howard is able to get it to go.
Hustle play right there.
Second chance basket. Dallas on the road trailing by 4. They'll feed the post. David Lee. Lee against Howard. Jump hook. Kidd the rebound. Nate Robinson almost came in there and got it back for New York. 6:05 remaining.
We're going to post Kidd again.
Deflection Duhon. Josh Howard's got it. Repost. Now Howard. Dive cut down the lane. Oh no, he traveled.
He saw that lane open up and he was so excited about getting to that basket as quickly as he could, he forgot to dribble it.
Costly turnover. Give it back to the Knicks. They lead Dallas 105-101 on the road at Madison Square Garden.
At Southwest Airlines, we don't charge fees on the first check bag or the second.
Basketball this year, they're 6-3, and most of the credit has to be given to head coach Mike D'Antoni, according to Dallas's Rick Carlisle.
Mike's done a great job of taking the existing pieces and plugging them into his system, because they really had some guys here that fit well into his style of play. They have some really good three-point shooters. They have quickness. He sized down their lineup, which is something that is a trademark, and they're playing at a very high level.
And so here we are. The Knicks have the ball. A Duhon shot that's no good, and Dallas will chase down a rebound. Josh Howard. Last year would have been a situation where you would have felt like in a game like this, a 4-point game in the fourth quarter, where the Knicks wouldn't know how to close it out. They wouldn't have the confidence. At 6-3, what sort of confidence do they have against a Dallas team that so desperately wants to close one of these out here in the fourth quarter? They're hustling after offensive rebounds as they get another second chance opportunity after the Dirk miss. Let's see if they convert. Oh, yeah, they do in a big way with Bass getting the two-hand dunk.
That's ball movement that time. The ball went from Nowitzki to Kidd to Howard to Bass.
Look at that bench today for Dallas. Well, they matched the energy of the Knicks bench we were talking about in the Lincoln Mercury key matchup. That's why Dallas is right there battling New York. Down the stretch as Kidd blocks David Lee.
That was a strip by Kidd and a heck of a defensive play.
Now Bass shooting to tie it. Offensive foul. That is 5 fouls on Brandon Bass. It's a turnover with 4:52 to play in the game. The Mavericks have only had 9 turnovers today, but a couple of them have hurt here in this last minute change. Howard's travel, Bass's offensive foul, and now New York has the ball back. So can Dallas get another defensive stop? Lee rolling to the bucket. quickly rolling to the bucket and quickly up off the floor to slam it.
And good hands. He made the catch with the right hand, finally got his left hand on the ball, and had a two-hand dunk.
Dirk against Randolph. Rebound Richardson. Dirk had 26 in the first half. Only 2 here in the second. Trying to get to the 30-point plateau for the 4th time this year as Dallas trails it by 4. Needing a defensive stop. Duhon to kick out. Randolph's hit a couple of threes today. Long rebound. Bass. Oh, he got helped by David Lee, but Kidd still is going to come away with it for the Mavs. Under 4 to go. Dirk. Richardson had it knocked out of bounds by Howard. New York ball.
Dirk looks a little tired right now. He really does.
Jason Terry had a hot hand in the 3rd quarter. He scored 14 points. See if the Mavericks call his number. Duhon puts it up off the glass. Lee's going to get this back. There's no shot clock reset. It's at 9. Crawford running the pick and roll with Lee. Richardson, deep 3. And good. That hurts. Rick Carlisle wants a timeout. He gets it with 3:23 to go. .15 in the game for Quentin Richardson. Just the 2nd time this year that he scored in double digits. He's knocked down 3 threes today. He's a 40% three-point shooter. A long way to beat the shot clock. Gives New York a 7-point lead.
His was the oldest.
They've got the ball coming out of this break. 3:23 to go. The Knicks lead by 7. And it's time for Nissan to get you in the game with this game summary. Get in the game. Get in a Titan. The Mavericks have 24 and 28 from Howard and Dirk. A big day off the bench. 48 bench points. Terry, Singleton, and Bass all in double digits. But Zach Randolph has a huge double-double. And the team has shot 50%. And that's why they have led for most of this game and lead it by 7. 3:23 to go coming out of the timeout. Dirk gets one, softly falling home. 30 points for the game, and the Mavericks are back within 5.
Good call by Carlisle, I think, coming out of that timeout. Good execution. We're going to go right to the wire with this one.
Dallas has tied it once here in the 4th quarter. They were within 2, and then Bass was coming down the floor and committed an offensive foul on a possession where they could have tied it. They get a stop. Now they can make it a 1-possession game. Kidd, that's a 3. No, and it's Crawford with the rebound. Kidd's had a tough shooting day. 1 of 7. Came into the day shooting 49% from the floor this year, averaging 11 points a game. Lee the pick. Give it to Richardson. He had a big 3 a moment ago, and now on the nifty reverse, he gives the Knicks that 7-point lead once again.
That's the 2nd drive he's had out of that corner. The first one resulted in he went underneath and came up on the other side with a right-handed dunk. That time he went underneath and came up with his left hand. Didn't dunk it, used the glass well.
Double on Dirk. Howard goes for the bucket. Score it with a foul.
That's a nice pass from Nowitzki when the double took place, and a good cut by Howard. As soon as Howard saw that double team on Nowitzki, he went to the basket, which is what you should do, and Nowitzki got him the ball back. It was interesting on the last possession because New York, looking up at that shot clock, they were trying to run clock. They were trying to protect that lead. I don't know how good they are at that. Sometimes you do things like that and it takes you completely out of sync. See if they do it again. I believe they will. It's Crawford with the ball.
Closing in on 2 minutes left. Howard's 3-point play has got Dallas within 4. Running some time. Crawford. Across the paint.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're just trying to run time now. Sometimes that can mess you up when you're that kind of a team.
David Lee, inside ball out of bounds, off the Knicks. Randolph knocked it out. Dallas can make it a 1-possession game. 1:43 remaining. The Garden, Oregon leads them in the chance of defense here in New York. Dirk against David Lee. Puts it on the floor. Fading baseline. There you go. 2-point game with a minute 27 left in this one.
He hasn't looked tired on the last two, has he?
And they've needed it. They walk it up the floor.
I see, it's out of character for them to play that way. And sometimes that just messes up your momentum.
Duhan. Shadowed by Kidd. Richardson has hit big shots here late in the game, but that time he misses. And now it's Dallas with 1 minute to play. Shooting to tie or take the lead if they can get one to go down from deep. Kidd, a quick pass, and it's Howard who takes one from deep. No! Bass fumbles the rebound, ball out of bounds. Who's got it? Dallas. 47.5 seconds to play. The Mavericks keep it with a new shot clock. Wow.
Rick Carlisle wants a 20-second timeout. And what's happened here is exactly what we have discussed. All of a sudden, New York tried to protect the lead with a little over 2 minutes to go, and it's backfired on them. It's coming back to haunt them because it's way out of character for them to play that way. And all of a sudden, they find themselves out of sync. They're getting shots late in the shot clock. There's the hustle by Bass.
You can see by the grimace on his face that was going all out for that one. Got knocked to the floor.
You certainly saw Rick Carlisle adjust his rotation in this game. I mean, it's more drastic in this game than at any time this year with the minutes that Bass has had. Singleton has had minutes at that 5 position.
And it's been because, you remember that soundbite we played from Rick Carlisle earlier. He pointed one of the things Mike D'Antoni's done is size down the New York lineup. You've got 6'9" Randolph playing center. But now here you go, Bob, with 47.5 seconds to go. Throwing it in on the baseline. You've got a full shot clock to work with here. Dallas still has 1 full timeout. Jason Terry. A little hesitation. And there is the shot that didn't go down on Friday night that goes down now for Terry to tie the game.
Let's see if the Knicks do it again.
30 seconds remaining.
That's very confusing to me. See, right now they're out of sync.
Shot clock is down to 7. It's Randolph working against Bass. Gives the ball up to Richardson. Hesitates in the corner. That shot no good. Oh, tap right back to Richardson. No! Randolph misses. Underneath the battle. Terry's got it. And a timeout. Dallas calls it from the bench. Well, I think the Mavericks wanted to run and score an easy bucket, but you've got half the bench calling timeout. You've got Kidd calling timeout. What a sequence, Bob.
Well, Kidd picked up Carlisle. Carlisle was bouncing up that sideline over there trying to get that timeout. Kidd saw that. He called it right away. So here the Mavericks are again. They'll probably move it into the front court. I hate to be redundant, but the most important part of what happens is going to be the inbounds pass. You have to be sure about the inbounds pass. Get it in.
Now here's the play. Richardson missed. Then Dirk tapped it right back to him. Randolph missed a tip in, and then it was just all-out war. Kidd calling the timeout right as Terry got the ball. And then you see in that situation, there were 2 Knicks back at half court. So it wasn't going to be like it was a great numbers situation for Dallas. You had 2 Knick defenders already back at half court in that situation, Bob.
Well, let's see where they go now. Will Josh Howard inbounds the ball, or will Jason Kidd be the guy that triggers it in? You would have to believe that that shot that's coming up right now, once the ball comes inbound, you're going to have a primary shooter, a secondary shooter, and a third. And you would think that it would come. Dirk would be your primarily, probably, and then you've got Terry and Josh Howard, who are going to be secondary options. That's the key.
9.5 seconds to go in New York. Coming up for our next telecast, brought to you by Aaron's. We'll be right back here on Fox Sports Southwest on Tuesday. The Mavericks are on the road against Larry Brown and the Charlotte Bobcats, led by high-flying Gerald Wallace. 6 o'clock game at Charlotte on Tuesday night as the Mavericks play the middle game of their 3-game road trip. And oh, what momentum it would be for Dallas if the Mavericks can go to Charlotte flying high after a win tonight in New York. They're advancing into the front court. And before we do anything, a 20 is now taken by Mike D'Antoni. He has all of his timeouts, a full and 2 20s. So he'll burn a 20 after getting a little bit of a look at what Dallas was potentially planning.
And the big difference was the fact that Kidd was going to take the ball out of bounds on that play. Now, I don't know whether that will change right now or not.
And keep in mind, from Friday night, Bob, you have to feel like Kidd would have been taking the ball out of bounds had he not fouled out a few seconds beforehand.
I agree with you. I think that would have been the case.
Now, they have a foul to give. I just saw D'Antoni. He just said something in the huddle about that. You can tell by the hand motion he made. Shot, bringing one hand down across the arm, reminding them that they do have a foul to give here.
But you do not want to foul a shooter.
Absolutely.
There's Frank, huh?
How about that?
Frank Sinatra. Singing New York. How about that?
New York, New York. What a place it would be for Dallas to snap the losing streak.
They got a shot.
They haven't led since 6-4. They shoot to go in front in the final seconds. Kidd into Terry. Terry against Duhon. Crosses him over. Down to 2 seconds. The shot is no good, and we've got overtime. 5 more minutes to play in Manhattan.
Well, as much as we love New York, we get to stay a little longer.
Terry ran it down. The 3 seconds to play. Comes up short. And so now Dallas will play an extra 5 minutes. It's their 4th overtime game in New York since the 2000-2001 season.
I think the interesting thing right now is, how does New York play it? Does New York go back and play the way D'Antoni wants to play? Or do they, play the way they played the last 2.5 minutes when it cost them the game? I mean, it really did. They tried to run time off the clock. It cost them the game. There's no doubt about that. Now, do they go back to that, getting quick shots, pushing the ball, being who you are? I'll tell you what, when you try to be something other than who you are or what you are, you're trying to fake your way through things, and you can't go through life that way, and you can't go through a basketball game that way.
Hey, Bob, and to illustrate your point, the Knicks take the air out of the ball. They lead 112-105, and the Mavs end up scoring the last 7 points to force overtime.
There you are, 7-point lead.
Dallas controls the tip. They'll have a chance to take the lead here to begin OT. Once again, the Mavericks have not led in this game since 6-4. They shoot for the lead here.
That's the way the game started. Dirk operating against Chandler.
And he draws a foul and will go to the line.
But see, once again, it was one-on-one coverage. I don't understand the inconsistency with which New York goes at Dirk with a second defender, because when they have done it, it's created problems. It's made shots tougher for him, and it's made him give up the ball.
Just throwing out a theory. There is sometimes a thought process against good offensive players that you mix it up, give them different looks so they don't get comfortable with any one thing coming at them, perhaps.
Yeah, but when I got a chance to win a game, I'm going to throw all those theories out the window.
Dirk makes the free throws, and the lead is there for Dallas. He hit those free throws 21 seconds into overtime. 114-112. Now it's Chandler. Floater in the lane, badly missing it. Now the Mavericks control the board.
They haven't scored in a while.
It's been 3 minutes since the Knicks have scored. Dirk over Chandler again, and this time the jumper, nothing but nylon for Nowitzki. A 36-point evening in New York, including the first 4 points of overtime.
I think you got to go back with those energy guys we talked about. I think you got to come back with Lee and Robinson, because you have to change the tempo on the floor of the game.
Well, there's Lee at the scorer's table. Crawford just missed a jumper. A three-pointer. Now there's the double on Dirk. Howard's got it.
Going right back to Dirk, too. See the isolation there? He's one-on-ones.
Over Chandler, shot in and out. Long rebound back to Kidd. He played a minute and a half of overtime. Dallas has outscored the Knicks 4-0. And the Mavericks, trailing and rebounding for most of the game, are now outboarding New York 51-50 after getting that offensive rebound, which Howard almost converted into a second chance basket, and then he knocks it out of bounds off Quentin Richardson. There's your sub, Bob. David Lee in for Wilson Chandler.
And I think that's a good move because you need Lee's energy and you need him around the basket. And I think he's a better scoring threat than Chandler is.
Duhon gives it to Lee. Yep. Oh, he misses the layup.
They broke their own momentum with 2.5 to play.
Running the floor, Brandon Bass. Oh, nice body control, avoids the offensive foul. They call a blocking foul on New York, and Bass is on the line.
I'll tell you what, there's an old saying, my friend.
Yes. I love old sayings.
Do not get in your own way. And the Knicks got in their own way. And they tried to draw a charge by getting in Bass's way right there. Or, yes, Bass's way, and that didn't work.
Quentin Richardson the foul. Richardson's first foul of the game. It puts Brandon Bass on the free throw line. Let's not overlook what Brandon Bass has done today because he has equaled his season high with 12 points. And Dallas will get this back off the missed second free throw. Josh Howard with rebound number 14. Big three, Dirk Nowitzki. It's an 8-0 start to overtime for Dallas after they scored the last 7 points of regulation. And Mike D'Antoni tremendously frustrated calling a timeout.
He should be. He should be frustrated with his team. He should be frustrated with his decision to slow it down.
Well, he'll have to slow it down now for a timeout with 2:56 to go. They got to completely stop it. Dirk Nowitzki, three-pointer set up by an offensive rebound by Howard. What reaction on both sides of the floor. Dallas in front by 8 in overtime.